about homes post-COVID and to share my learnings and experiences on how to make your homes more future-ready and more fulfilling even in times of chaos. The flurry of changes at home started when the whole world came to a standstill and we were not prepared. So the home was no longer a place where you would finish your day's work and come home to unwind and to relax. Overnight, it turned into this multifunctional place which had to be your workspace by the day, your relaxing sanctuary at night, it had to be your child's playground, it had to be a school by the day, it had to be a place where you entertained, it had to be a place where you worked out, where you relaxed, everything. And we were not ready for that. The home had to suddenly be multifunctional, it had to be multi-generational, and we were so not ready to be able to use it that way. So what are these little changes that could be brought in that could make our life, the life of every individual in the house comfortable, where they had a public zone to come together, interact or do their daily chores or their schooling, and at night have that individual relaxing space to call home. How would the home do that? That was the challenge we faced, and how do we address that? So initially we had to do large living rooms, and the bedroom meant that it had to have a comfortable bed, good amount of wardrobes and a dresser probably, and that was all right. But now people definitely first seek out for a room where there's a bed, there's a proper dressing table, there is a study table, there's a large enough storage unit, there's also place for somebody to come and sit, probably 2 chairs and a coffee table, and a space, bonus if you can even add a yoga mat and work out there. So that's how a bedroom has to be, which means larger bedroom spaces. So only the remainder probably gets to the living. Initially it used to be the other way around. The living room has to be as large as possible because that's your show window to people who are coming and seeing your house, but that has completely shifted now. People are being more individualistic and realizing their needs of the bedroom space also being a complete total unit in itself. So that layout itself has changed for us right now. Same goes for sound, because if everybody has to sit in different rooms and parallelly work or school or do whatever, it has to be a soundproof environment, because as a community, India is very open to kids giggling in the background or playing, or people knocking on the doors, elderly calling out our name, or our staff coming and asking for this or that, and that was very acceptable. But now our home is also our office, our workspace, so that has changed completely. Windows are more soundproofed, double glazed, to avoid the reflection on the videos. Our doors are soundproof, a lot of acoustic paneling on the walls is happening. So all this is something that we are planning on an everyday basis in homes that we're designing now. And there's definitely an increased need for better space management, because you need to have decluttered spaces if you're going to use it as your workout zone and your work from it zone. So, we're doing multifunctional furniture now. For example, we just did like a dressing table which doubles up as a workstation as well, or foldable tables, foldable chairs that you can pack and stack inside, so your room is clutter free. Another thing we've noticed is that there was a lacking for things like entry foyers in homes that were tighter in the bigger cities like Mumbai. So there was no concept of entry foyers, but I think that has come to gain a whole new meaning now, because you don't want people to straight enter and look into your private areas or living rooms. So you need to have that barricading in terms of security and privacy, but also from a hygiene and health purpose now. When things are coming from outside, you need to have a console where you can, station it, sanitize it, and then take things inside. People from outside coming in, they need to have something to stack up their stuff, leave it there, and then move inside. All of that needs to be sanitized. Probably this area can be cleaned more frequently in the day. So as part of health and hygiene also, these kind of landing stations of people who are coming into the house, block there, sanitize, clean, and then move in. So entry foyers have come to gain that kind of meaning. If you can do that in the outside of your homes, where you have like a shoe cabinet and a guest rack where you can, if anybody is coming to your house, they park their stuff outside and you don't need to bring the extra stuff inside. So that is definitely an added advantage from hygiene and health point of view as well. So that's a shift that we're seeing. People want that in their homes now. Butler tables are something that is very good, because you just unfold it, put it as a tray. If there's somebody unwell in the family and you don't want them to come in and out of the room, you have to still serve them. This table serves as a beautiful serving tray outside the room. You sanitize stuff, put it in, sanitize and take it out. So that is something that is also space saving. Hold it and keep it once not in use. So Butler table, definitely, we need to all stack it in our homes now. Subject of health and hygiene. Plants are definitely now more welcome into homes. People were initially busy, in their work routines and all, with no time at hand. they didn't want plants in the home, and the first question would be mosquitoes. Mosquitoes will increase in the house. Now they're okay with mosquitoes, they want the plants to come in because of the disconnect with the nature that was felt, especially in cities like Mumbai, where in lockdown they didn't have access to even ground floor levels at that point of time. So larger balconies are things that people are seeking out. Homes with gardens are things that people are seeking out, and they're filling up homes with plants as well. And there are certain plants, if you speak to your local gardener, they will advise you to bring in the house, like money plants and snake plants that are supposed to be very good for air refreshing, and you need to probably get them into your homes because we need to be connected with the nature as well. But we see the shift in people mindset where more greener homes are a welcome way to go about. We need to be able to, as designers, suggest materials that are easy to maintain and clean, because a lot of work in lockdown has to be done by the homeowners themselves without the help of their staff, because that was a problem that everybody faced during the pandemic. So materials that would not wear and tear easily, that can be, they are rugged, they are sustainable. So those are the things that all designers are bringing into their design decisions now. Another shift that we are noticing, and we are actually working on for most of our clients now, is better kitchens. Better in terms of aesthetic, also in terms of functionality, and there are branded kitchens that they're opting for, because a lot more cooking happens at home now, and a lot of homeowners are happily taking it up as a hobby. So kitchens have gained a more important place. In India it was always a very important center of the house, but now it has gained even more aesthetic importance as well. Apart from this, families now want a space to come together and chill together. People are asking for media rooms, gaming rooms, home theaters, or just large spaces where in the day they are working out and by the evening they are playing their board games, having their snack time together, tea times together, or even chilling with their friends. So these entertainment rooms are separate units that are almost present in every house that we're doing. And these spaces are hubs of a lot of art and a lot of collections that people have over the years of photographs or family stuff, and this is done in a very cozy way to be able to attract all of the generations together. There is also a major shift where people want to enjoy a lot of landscape designers to do up their balconies and lawns now, because an open space is definitely more safe and nice for meeting your loved ones and for your get-togethers. So for any house that is blessed with a lawn, or even for that matter second homes, people are moving towards getting a lot of second homes now because they're more open in greener areas with balconies blessed with a lot of natural environment around. People are getting in landscape designers also to do up these spaces with good fire pits, barbecue zones, beautiful lighting, pergolas and sit-out zones. So that's taken a new meaning now. So does making everything so functional mean that the drama and the decor needs to take a backseat? I don't agree. But yes, because you're going to be bound to this space for longer hours, longer time, and do everything in this space, it definitely needs to be able to give you that element of surprise. Meaning that it needs to be able to change its entire aura with your mood. For example, art, you get a lot of rotatable art. Things that you can change, flip around, throw a rug or remove it, add plants, take them out in the balcony. Tables don't have large, heavy furniture. Things that you can stack up on the side or spread around if you have a gathering. Floor cushions, a lot of cushions to throw on, change your cushion covers. So this kind of floating art, things that you can change around and mix match your style often, are definitely taking on a huge meaning now, because your space has to transcend into different modes quickly and easily. One thing that I need to point out, that minimalism as a concept, in my personal opinion, may not do wonders in a homebound person's mental state, because this space, when I'm sitting in my house looking at my bookshelf, being able to think, okay, I've not read that book, let me pick that and see. Or, oh, that photograph, I remember we had gone there. Those are the kind of things that bring back memories and give you good things to think about or do when you're in your relaxed time. So I think that a little bit of, personal belongings, arts, collections that you've done over the years, your memorabilia needs to be surrounded around you. So absolute minimalism and being locked in it may affect your mental state, but that's totally my personal opinion. I think you should go ahead and go out and get everything that you love and surround yourself by those things all the time. So my personal design style has always been more sculptural. I don't feel that the form of anything needs to be limited by its function. For example, a chair needs only 4 legs, seat and back to be called a chair, but I feel that its form need not be limited to that. But now the inspiration for my sculptures comes from the outdoors. The whole idea is to bridge the gap or the disconnect that the people have felt between the outdoors and the indoors during the pandemic. So we're more drawn by pebbles and the stones and the rocks and the natural forms that are available, by the plants, by the earthy materials. So it's definitely more earthy, matte and natural for me than glossy, shiny glass, mirrors or marbles. As compared to that, I like more, even concrete for that matter feels more natural to me than something shiny and glossy. So that has been my personal design style, and it's taken a lot from the fact that I had to be disconnected from something that's the very base nature of me, which is earthy. So in terms of furniture that we're designing or spaces that we're designing, we're trying to bring in a lot more greens, a lot more natural textures, flooring, which we're inclining more towards natural stones. We're inclining more towards leather finished marbles, rather than the glossy shiny things. Like we said, the furniture that we're designing is probably inspired from the topographical forms, or even the city skylines, but whatever you see outside. So that is what we're taking a lot of inspiration from, and we've seen this clear shift in our design post the pandemic. Let's make your homes future ready with these 7 points. Good health and hygiene systems, better lighting planning, good sound planning with acoustics, separate individual and family spaces, better space planning, more sustainable materials, and bringing the outdoors inside with lots of fresh air will make you super ready for anything that comes.